Test, test.
Deceiver!
I don't know. Yeah, let's do slight noise suppression on the microphone so it's not picking up. The noise gate might actually be a good idea. What is... let's just negative 45, negative 40. All right, let's see what that's like. Test, test. Should be coming around the mountain, na na na. Loud end game. Let me turn that down. I feel like 30%. Oh, okay.
Ready for chaos!
Alrighty. The one moment in my life where I actually need 4 monitors. Oh well, I can make it work. Okay, so what am I working with here?
Combine your power, cultists! Chaos!
Zungors. Okay, that's a big beastie. Oh. Yikes. Okay, I got some world map abilities. How does this work? Points to generate casting spells with the winds of magic. Okay, Arcane Surge gets power reserve and reserves per second, or power recharge, excuse me. Once every 60 seconds for 14 seconds. Bolt of Change. That's a lot of freaking armor-piercing damage. Holy crap, dude. Storm of Fire, not as much damage. This is a bombardment spell that lasts for almost 30 seconds. Large strike area, no kidding.
The Changling!
Okay, Formless Horror. Okay, active ability, duration 5 seconds, cooldown 2 minutes. Can use if battle outcome is undecided, not honorable if platform battle has started. Transform into Aerial. That's what I have selected. Ability, Unspottable Stalk, Snipe, out of melee, creates an image of the Changeling. You think it's zero Changeling? It is. Has Unspottable Stalk and Snipe. That's interesting. You have no abilities, you have no abilities.
I will perplex!
Deceiving Shadows. Alright, Treason of Tzeentch is a leadership debuff. Tzeentch's Firestorm, Vortex spell. Another Vortex, Infernal Gateway. 5 armor piercing magical damage. 1 second. Doesn't seem to do that much. It must be a very wide radius. It's only radius of 15 meters, so it's 30 meters wide. Oh, thanks. Person in chat. I unfortunately don't know how to pronounce that, but I appreciate you letting me know that things are working. We are supposed to start a head-to-head co-op campaign here at around 8 o'clock. My time anyway, or here in the next minute. And doing some testing because I'm on a new rig, and my partner, who's in the description, is having some router issues, so things... Yosef? Thank you, Yosef. I appreciate your consideration in letting me know things are working. But yeah, it's been a while since we streamed, about 2 months. I had some work things that took me away from actively streaming on our Thursday nights. I believe he did too. So we're coming back together with this update. I'm going to try and bring you guys Thursday streams as per usual, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard American Time. And yeah, hopefully he figures things out. He did have guests over recently, and he had to move his router around, so I know that's what he's working on. Otherwise, I'm just looking at the Changeling and what he can do. If my partner does not come online, I might look at the other 2 lords and new heroes on stream. I'm not sure. We'll just see what's in it for the night. I'm not very versed in Tzeentch. I have played mostly Khorne and Nurgle. Slaanesh doesn't seem that interesting to me, despite having lots of speed and armor piercing, which is cool. But
Ready for chaos.
I'm mostly a neutral alignment player. I like Wood Elves, Orcs, and you can kind of call Vampire Counts neutral alignment. But yeah. Let's see. You just told me Rest in Peace is not looking good. Going to keep working through it. Okay. So, my partner's having some internet troubles. Not a problem. Okay, so I want to be able to... Okay, so hold on. Glean Magic. Lord of Tzeentch is a Hex of the Winds, Power Recharge, reserve second. If I do it on an enemy, they lose power recharge. Okay, so 8 winds of magic. Valid target's enemy. But I can cast it on myself. Or do I have to upcast it? It's not a spellcaster. It says self. Oh, duh. I have to cast it on an enemy that is a spellcaster. I'm sapping their winds. Got it. Okay. All right. Well, let's see what the Lord of Change has to offer. Oh, I'm gonna be doing that again. All right. There we go. It has been about 2 months since I've been able to play Warhammer, so I might be a little rusty. But I'm not too concerned about. Oh, that's cool. It's a little, yeah. That's gross. I mean, it's Zinch, it's chaos. They're all gross, except these dudes. These dudes look awesome. Massive tower shields. I'm curious to see how these Zongors work. Seeing Beastmen actively in a chaos army is neat. Creative Assembly does a great job with visuals, I gotta say. If anyone that plays Warhammer is all about their immersion, I like to think visually they should not be disappointed.
To new exploits.
Just put one of them over here.
Traipsing that away.
I'm just fighting some basic Bretonnian men-at-arms right now. I'm pretty sure the Changeling alone could solo this. Actually, let's look at his stats. What does he have? Cowled and Cloaked. So he has stock and DR 10%. And that's only enabled if I have high winds of magic. None. Save perhaps Zinch himself know the Changeling's true form, for his figure is indiscernible and indistinguishable to the naked eye. That's cool. Gift of Mutation, apply more melee attack. And obviously the wounds. It's a shapeshifter. This unit can transform into other units on the battlefield. So I'm curious, if I turn into Ariel, do I gain her abilities? No way, dude. Ariel is such a strong spellcaster. Hey Nathan, holy smokes, you're alive. I thought Vileurple might have gotten kidnapped and eaten by the Skaven. So I did have a meeting with Thankful. He told me that for me to continue living, I had to fight for the forces of darkness, and I had to backstab kill my partner. And it seems in my dealings with the Underdark, my partner also took a deal, and we will be fighting under the table for the foreseeable future. But yeah, Nathan, I appreciate you remembering. We had some work things come up. I was out of town for pretty much all of July, and then coming back home was getting back into the regular work rhythm, cleaning things up. I actually had an issue with my what's it called? I can't think of it. The people I talked to pay for my apartment, and because they were supposed to watch the place while I was away, and they didn't. So there were just like packages just stacked up on the door, wet and uncared for. Super annoying. So I had to deal with that. Plus had some car trouble because my car just been sitting out for a month. But otherwise, yeah, we should be back Thursdays, 8 o'clock. We might be bringing some content on Tuesdays as well, but we haven't laid that in stone quite yet. Yeah, that's where we are. If you weren't here a second ago, Nathan, I was just saying that if V doesn't get his router working, I'm just going to show off some of the new content. Yep, precisely, Michael. The Changeling is pretty nuts so far, being able to change into other lords and gain their abilities. The fact that I can bring Ariel onto the battlefield without being, the Wood Elves, I think is pretty strong. I'm going to be testing these faction abilities today. Looks like I get them for using Winds of Magic. Do you think Soul Stealer is too strong of an open? Eh, what the heck. Yes, yes, kill stab ally things. Hey, dude. Glad you're back from the new DLC. Yeah, this is my first glance at it. So I did see that there was like crazy review bombing of this DLC, and I think I understand why for the price and whatnot. But I can't be bothered. I'm glad I can. I'm glad I can make your day better. I have a little bit of a hangover myself because I got a little rowdy last night with some friends. So doing this can clear my mind, and it brings me solace knowing that I'm making your night better. So you're actually going against each other this time? That is the plan. I was under the impression that we were just going to be an open war turn 1, but from what it sounds like, we're going to be trying to diplomatically be at war with each other until turn 100, then we'll be an open war. Which is easy for me, I think, because being the Changeling, I can just kind of, you know, sit and change the ways as Tzeentch does. So we'll see what I'm in for. He will be looking at Mother. Is it Mother of Ostakya? Is that how you say her name? It seems like kind of a funny name. Like I want to call her Mama Stinky sometimes. But yes, that is the plan. There'll be politics and blood and war. War in a Warhammer game. Who knew? But yeah. Word of Pain. So, like, do these spells actually have to deal damage, or do I just get them for... I just get them for casting winds. Sweet. That's not broken at all. Yes, Ariel. I'm way too familiar with Ariel. I've played the Wood Elves the most. I need to pick something else. Moving and shaking. So how have you guys been in the 2 months that V and I have been on our little sabbatical? Has anything changed since we've been here? Any new YouTube news? Anything big in your lives? I missed anything important? Sneaky tricky to do, invade and vassalize someone near you, then you can start getting people who hate you to be your vassal by breaking military access to your vassal. They have to really hate you for it to work. I mean, I'm Tzeentch. I feel like it's pretty easy to be hated. Okay, I want to see what these spells do. Can I just break their leadership? No, their leadership is too high. Alright, we are going to throw a Cockatrice, Cockatrice, I think it's called, into the mix here to get them kind of bunched up a little bit. These chosen of Tzeentch can sit here. They're big and slow. 28 speed, 120 armor. Oof. Alright, so what's this debuff they got? Petrifying Gaze. That's nice. Slows their speed down too. Alright, let's do the Storm of Fire. Pretty nice big bombardment. We'll drop it right here because they're moving. About a 5-second activation. Oh, but then I lose access to the Bolt of Change. He had the entire world vassalized by turn 45. Also, holy crap, that is a super strong spell. And it's still going, dude. Holy crap. Okay. Looking for it. He did it as Khorne as well. That's impressive, I feel like. Khorne's usually not the diplomatic type, even if they are doing like under the table things. Okay, I should have been looking at that. Did I just get those points, or do I get them after the spell has been spent? 4 more seconds. not a spellcaster, right?
What a love!
Blue Fire of Zinch. We'll just cast on these guys, doesn't matter. Okay, yeah, that's a basic spell. Alright, let's try this Bolt of Change. Ooh, okay, so it's the targeted spell. Okay, he has 20, 26, 22 HP. Ooh, that was like 500 damage. Okay, we're gonna slow things down. I'm just gonna throw things into the mix here while I catch up on chat. Nathan says, I've just been working like a dog, going to your rodeos, watching my Warhammer streamer buddies. One of my fellow Bear Bronc rider buddies died last night. So oh, dude, I'm so sorry to hear that, man. Well, I mean, I guess they, you know, I hope they were doing something that they loved and it wasn't, you know, obviously it was not planned, but I'm sorry to hear that you had loss recently. Michael Green is getting like 49,000 gold turn as tribute. That's wild. Oh yeah, vassals give tribute. I forgot about that. Works easier with chaos factions. Everyone already hates you. True. So you need to get that first vassal and it snowballs from there. Interesting. Super weird. I can be on YouTube and watch this on my PC, but can't connect to Steam Discord like I have some internet. Really? Can't connect to Steam Discord. That almost sounds like a domain problem. Like that, I don't think that's your internet. Maybe it's just your connection to the Steam and Discord servers. I know you're somewhere on the west side, so maybe it has something to do with that. Isn't there a, it's not a hurricane, it's a monsoons? Isn't there a monsoon over there right now? I just had Idalia, or whatever the hurricane was called, pass through yesterday. I died doing what I love. Our sport isn't for those who don't want to live dangerously, but thank you so much. Yeah, Nathan. I've never really been around the rodeo scene too much. I was a little bit as a kid. My parents would take me to dirt rallies and whatnot, and I'd see rodeos every now and then. And those guys and gals that they get on those bulls, they got some gonads. I tell you what. It's gonna be hard to do sneaky strats if you're watching each other's stream. Yes. So I will not be watching his stream. I will have his chat open just because I'm a chat moderator, and though there hasn't been any Slanesh bots that have appeared recently, but I will do what I can to not take things from his chat that might be incriminating to his... What in the world? That was cool. That might be incriminating to his plans. If the chat starts to evolve that way, where they're strategizing, then I will leave the chat, and he has other moderators that can watch his chat, and I know Nagani is pretty good about keeping an eye on things. Natty Purple, I was just telling Oxyotl that I thought you both kidnapped by the Skaven and eaten. And we back, baby! Yeah, we won't stream tonight. I'll keep tinkering. Okay, so first impressions of the Changeling. I'm afraid to say he's the best caster in the game. I actually don't want to say that just because his base spells are the classic Tzeentch, but he has access to pretty much every other character in the game, which gives him the potential to be the best. Now, granted, things have probably changed in Warhammer 3, so I don't know what patch notes have dropped for other casting lords. I know that, oh my goodness, what's his name? The vampire count. Oh my gosh. In Warhammer 2, he was the primary enemy in Reichland, and now he's... I'm just gonna look. Tomb King... Not Tomb Kings. Vampire counts. I know you guys have found it already. What's his name? Manfred. Yeah, I know Manfred was deemed like one of the best casters for the longest time. I don't know if he still is. Casting Hurricane to keep us from PvP. Yeah, thank you, Michael. Manfred von Karstein. Yeah, Karstein. I'm pretty sure it's Stein. Yeah, I was under the impression that he was one of the best casters for a while. And then I know Teclis was up there on the roster too. I am not listening to this. So I don't know if V has messed with Kislev too much, but I feel like he will naturally have the technical advantage, at least for the first two rounds or so, or 2 streams, excuse me. Just because I have never touched Tzeentch. I've looked at them, I've looked at their stats, I've never actually used them in combat or strategy. It's Frankenstein. And I feel like Kislev is pretty easy to understand, but with the new hexes that Kislev has, let's look at Kislev real quick. I forget where everyone is. Okay, Mother Ostakya. It's a pretty nice heal for 23 seconds, and a Spirit Bear. SCV keeps testing his stuff. Basic starter is for first-time players. Yeah. It still blows my mind that like if it's your first campaign on the game suggests Karl Franz, and it's like, this is one of our suggested starter lords, and no, you do not want to throw a new Total War player into the heart of the Empire without knowing all the ins and outs of the diplomacy. So we got a lot of new things for Kislev here. They've always had horse archers, right? I feel like they've always had horse archers. Let's look at these Akshina ambushers. And we got new Streltsy. And they have access to feral beasts. That's cool. But yeah, I know Kislev is pretty good. She's got all the things. We'll look at that in battle. That one can come on a warhorse. Okay, yeah, this is the new Hag Witch heroes for Kislev. They have Beast, Death, and Shadows. Has Death gotten a change? I know some people think Death is not the greatest. It would be Heart of the Empire along with a new player. Yeah. I do agree that the High Elves are a decent start, despite Ulthuan being far more difficult now than it was in Warhammer 2. Just because you have, oh my gosh, what's his name? The Slaanesh dude. But you have the primary Slaanesh Lord there, so I know that complicates things. And I'm curious to see Cathay in this patch, because when Cathay dropped, I love Cathay. I love the balance spectrum of everything. But I feel like their roster was a little lackluster. I was hoping to see like the Cathayan monks and perhaps even some of the man monkey people that are to the south of Cathay. I was curious to see what their combat stats would be like, and if they would have like ninja-esque, well, not ninja, but like combat monk style fighting on the battlefield, and I wanted to see the animations for that. Ostakya. Okay, so yep. Oh yeah, we'll just put all these on their own selected number. So Mother Ostakya, let's look at her stats. She can fire while moving, so she is ranged. What does she throw, I wonder? She got 555 missile strength with 12-second reload time. Okay, cool. Are those skulls? Tell me she throws skulls at people. Alright. 7,400 HP, 40 armor, 85 leadership, 70 speed, being drawn by whatever these things are. The things in the woods. They look like razor gores, kind of, with, you know, shoulders and longer arms. 44 magic melee attack, 32 melee defense, not very much weapon strength, but she is anti-infantry, because I'm guessing that is deemed a chariot. I guess the standards for chariots have fallen in Kislev. 48 magical ammunition. That's a lot of ammunition. And 120 range, which is and a 360-degree angle. All that she can fire while moving too. Okay, she's got 2 innate abilities: a heal, I believe I mentioned that, and then a spirit bear. You should see that. Glowing skulls, explosive glowing skulls. That is even more metal than I was anticipating. Despite Ulrika being in the game for some time, I actually have not had a chance to look at her. So she's a duelist, anti-infantry, silver dagger. She's a vampire hunter, right? That's really nice. How long does that last? 32 seconds. Perfect time for a cool duel. She can increase her accuracy by 90 and blind whoever she's attacking. Okay, cool. Self physical resist, melee defense, but lowers melee attack of the enemy. Sweet. Right, and then obviously the Hag Witch. They have a DR ability that you can use twice on a 90-second cooldown. Oh, you don't know if she does, but it looks like she does? Well, good sir, we will find out shortly. All right, new incarnate elemental of beasts, or incarnate. Let's look at this thing. So it is unbreakable. It has woodsman. It can hide in the forest, which is awesome for its size. I'm glad I can do that. It has incarnate block of doom. Is this perpetual? Oh my gosh. This thing just has Flock of Doom on it perpetually. That's insane. 20% physical DR, 50 armor, 100 leadership. Yeah, it's unbreakable. 60 speed, 62 melee attack, magical, 30 melee defense, anti-large, which I like. I love large anti-large, dude. Just the idea of big beasts going after each other. It's like the Godzilla movies. Okay, we got the Akshina ambushers, Fiskals and Chariot and Glowing Potion Runner. Makes sense to me. That's fair enough. Yeah. She dips them like Oreos in milk and toss them at the enemy. Let's go. The Hag Witch, which we looked at. This one's of death. Oh wait, what's this ability? That's the By Our Blood, right? Okay. The Akshina ambushers, armor piercing, vanguard point, stealthy, and stalk. Just look like skirmisher type. Infantry for Kislev. I love the look. They look absolutely awesome. I love the bear helmets that fade into the leather cloaks.
Dishonor is treason.
Dishonor is treason. 36 speed. Kind of a little bit slower than I was expecting for skirmishing ambushers. 28 melee attack, 32 melee defense. Their weapon strength is majority armor piercing. A low charge bonus, 24 ammunition, 150 range, 23. So they actually hit pretty hard with their missile. So it doesn't look like they're meant to go into melee at all. We got some feral bears here. We've seen those. They just be so cute and cuddly. They totally don't look like they're going to bite my freaking face off. And then we got the things in the woods. This is a new... I guess they're considered large? Yes, they are a large entity. 30 armor, 60 leadership, anti-infantry. Okay, so these things are essentially crypt ghouls. Predatory senses. Sense prey hiding nearby. Ooh, okay, I wonder if that means they have like better hidden. Like detecting that which is stalking and hidden. Okay, so there's no battlefield bonuses like Zine Chaz on the right. We will get everything up on the hill first, so I get line of sight of thine enemy. We'll test out this spirit bear. The heal seems pretty self-explanatory. She has a mix of shadows and beast magic. So she has Flock of Doom, the Curse of Ara here, and the Emperor Spear. I like Emperor Spear, I just don't like using it on units that are not flying. So like, oh, hey, you were right, glowing skulls. Enemy has pushed forward, did not think that they would actually do that. Oh, and the Hag Witch does it too. That is awesome. Let's slow this down. Hold on, let's pause real quick. Are these skulls? Well, they make skulls. Kind of reminds me of Sea of Thieves a little bit. Boom. Alright, how much damage has she done? Already has 13 kills, she's only thrown 2 of them. Has done 2,000 damage, approximately. You should be used to things eating you. Hey, if I had it my way, I'd be riding an eagle, dude. I think it'd try and eat my face. Let's get these ambushers off to the side. I want to see how they handle ambushing. Ulrika with her nice recurve. Or no, that's a longbow. That bow looks awesome to me. Short range artillery. All right, let's get the big beastie in there. Let's see what happens to our leadership. They're already low leadership because they're damaged and hit by artillery, and now they're just in the flock of doom. Akshina ambushers down, do your thing. In one volley, we see six kills for about 1900 damage. We want to keep them out of melee. I did not charge with the things in the woods, so they lost their charge bonus. That is my bad. We will use this ability on something that's not in combat yet. Don't give them the high ground. I know, I already messed up. Okay, Spirit Bear, Magic Missile. Come on. I don't know if it was the thing before that or the thing after. Okay, so no, she did not cast it. We're going to drop it on the Bretonnian Lord here and get Ulrika out. Oh, that's cool. There's a little animation for it. That's cool. Alright, let's get them off the Lord. Let's see. Let's heal up these kitties over here. That's a recurve longbow, has one continuous spin, no change in spin direction. Right. Ulrika, you are a duelist. I did not mean to do that middle one. That is fine, that works. Ulrika's doing her thing. Okay, so did that affect Ulrika? Does she have that bonus? No. So that only affects him. Let's get another flock of doom in here. Even though we're about to have another one. Do these stack, I wonder? They do. Oh, they totally do. That's super strong. And this time here, he's done 8,000 damage in this 4-minute battle. That incarnate elemental of beasts, I kind of want to do like a beast magic build. So we have some slight Nurgle-inspired things here with Mother Stinky and the Hag Witches. Mobile artillery casters, not nearly as far as the Nurgle Lord, but super beneficial, I'd say. I'm curious to see what that'll look like in PvP events. I feel like if you're going up against someone who knows what they're doing and is well-knowledged in mobile alert sniping, Ostakya's 70 speed might be her downfall. But depends if you can hire ice magic as this faction, because being able to slow down your opponent sounds like this might be super strong for this build, or for this faction. Alright. Kislev seems well adjusted, super strong. Alright, now we're going to go to Cathay. Also, let me remember this dude's name. Kugath. Yeah, here we go. Grand Cathay. Alrighty, so we now have Celestial Generals. Lord of Grand Cathay. They can affect all allies. They can affect one ally. No, it is an area. 40 melee defense to 20 physical resist. Okay, nice. Celestial Sweep. Damage per second is a 2-second vortex. Cool, do they just spin their hammer around for 2 seconds? That's cool. Cool. The dragons, we know what that is. And Yuan Bo, the Jade Dragon, Emperor of all of Grand Cathay. Transformation of the dragon. This dragon form, the Emperor's executioner. Or wait, hold on, is this? This is the Emperor, right? Am I getting my lore mixed up? This is Emperor's executioner. Okay, so no, he's not the Emperor. Excuse me, I totally thought he was the Emperor, my bad. Emperor's Executioner, it's direct damage. That's a lot of damage per second, even if it is only 2 seconds. It will execute units in combat below 20% HP. Strong versus a single combatant. Woo! So keep your lords away from this one. And then the Dragon's Fang for 20 seconds gets a huge offensive buff. Jade Shield, 44%. Ward save for 11 seconds. Wasp Wind, we're familiar with that. Talons of the Night, we know Talons of the Night and Shem's Burning Gaze. Okay, we'll throw him in here. Let's see what his dragon form looks like. No new melee for Kislev. Right, we got some new monsters. Some Onyx Crowmen. Some Jade Lions and Jet Lions. And then I believe we had a War Drum, which from what I understand is... Oh, it provides harmony of both. Okay. It reminds me of the Bretonian Grill Relic. So I don't think I'm gonna get to play tonight. I'm new here. What are you doing? Hicked Claw? I hope we don't have to sign a pact with you, dude, because the Skaven are kind of scary. So Icket, me and my partner, Vileurple, usually do a stream Thursdays at 8 o'clock. Or at least we're coming back to it anyways. We kind of took a 2-month sabbatical because work got in the way. But right now, since he's having some technical issues, I'm reviewing the newly released content, the new DLC for the game, and just kind of giving it a quick rundown, seeing what's new. I'm just going to throw in some more Onyx Crowmen. They're cheap. Let's fill the skies with crows. And start the battle. So we've already gone over the Changeling, which I feel like he's super strong. I'm going to have to review the game and tempted to call him the new strongest caster. Kislev seems super balanced and well loved. They have kind of a beast's affinity now, which I think is awesome. They have this one large entity that I feel like is super strong. And then they have some mobile artillery casters, which I think is nice. Good for Kislev, staying on the mobile side of things. I feel like that's something that they need to kind of not sympathize, not synchronize, synergize, that's what I'm looking for. To synergize with their ice magic to slow down the enemy and stay mobile themselves. I feel like that's what makes them super strong. Right, let's look at some of the visuals here. So these are the Onyx Crowmen. Let's go ahead and start battle so I can pause. Alright, so they're quite literally crow men. They have Icon of Great Cities, gives them leadership. They're a Yang affinity, or augment, excuse me, and they have crazy visibility range. Does that help them see things that are hidden? No, it does not. They got flying, Vanguard deployment. Nice leadership, 88. Well, that's with bonuses. What are these bonuses? That is the inspired by ability, flank secure. Okay. Nice, right. So 80 default, or base 60, and then 20 for the inspired by ability, yada yada. Right, yeah, that one. They're in harmony. Decent melee attack and defense for a flying unit, I'd say. Probably pretty good at taking down archers. Weapon strength 45 and a 20 charge strength. I'd say nice flanker. They're good. Probably great for taking out shades and whatnot. I already recommended the hammer whack technique to Vile, but I don't think he's going to try it. Immune to psychology. Oh, so this is the war drum, right? So 20% spell resistance, both yin and yang. It does have the wound. It has a Bastion of the Great Cities, mutually exclusive with other war drum abilities. So if I do one, I can't do the other, right? Melee attack, effect range. How long does that last? Cooldown 30 seconds. Doesn't tell me how long it lasts. Is it perpetual? I mean, it says augment area, so I'm assuming that means it's perpetual. And then the other one is armor. The Jet Lion Has missile mirror twice for 18 seconds. It's got those two again. Nice missile resistance, spell resistance. Nice leadership. New ability, Disrupted, lowers PR and increases miscast chance by 100%, so great for hunting down casters. Nice weapon strength, 240 armor piercing. Probably wouldn't send one of them by themselves after Lord, but they're strong enough to shut down unimportant casters, I'd say. And then we got the Jade Lion, who has a power recharge ability that is perpetual, which is nice. And then we got a Jade Lion's Breath. The breath spell, 2 uses, 21 damage per second. Armor piercing lasts for 2 seconds, radius 9 meters, and move speed 25 meters per second. Alright, and then the bad boy himself, Executioner of the Emperor, Yuan Bo, the Jade Dragon. Good leadership. Pretty decent stats. 100 armor, 103 leadership, 46 speed for someone that is on foot with all that jade armor. So look at that. Look at that massive sword. I think it's awesome. So you're playing multiplayer most of the time? Yes. All of my Warhammer content is co-op campaign, and this will be our first head-to-head campaign. I have thought about doing a private campaign, but I don't have the time. And there are other games that I am attached to. For example, tomorrow, if any of you followed the game Destiny 2, they're reprising an old Destiny 1 raid, and the Day 1 event is a big thing in that community, and I will be part of the race trying to compete. I don't expect to get anywhere near like the top 100, but it's nice seeing my name on the list somewhere. And he is anti-infantry. About what I expected. All right, let's get this battle started. I'm not going to worry about grouping anything up. Give me vision, oh Croman. Actually, I will group these things up just because I'm so used to clicking around. I've also been completely addicted to Baldur's Gate here recently. I do enjoy a decent D&D campaign myself, and having it kind of digitized is nice. And I don't require people, and that's always the hardest part about having D&D. The schedules get in the way. Now I can just kind of play by myself. Okay, Vileurple just messaged me saying, blah, I'm gonna call time of death. I have a new router delivering tonight. Let me know when you're good to reschedule. Can do tomorrow or this weekend or whenever's. Keep telling them they should get an East Coast versus West Coast game going. Vile knows enough content creators to do it. We have talked about getting some other people in. We actually originally, when we were talking about doing this idea, we thought about doing a 2v2, and I think, like how I mentioned with the D&D campaigns, getting those players to actually have aligned schedules was the hard part. Okay, so we'll throw one of these Onyx Croman in, see how they do against some men-at-arms. I expect that they'll win. If it was a 1v1, we'll see if friends come by to assist. Looks like they might. Can do tomorrow or this weekend, whenever's launch day is always cursed. I agree, unfortunately. So I'm gonna tell them, so not tomorrow. I got a Destiny event that very well could take all day. I will figure out a time sometime night or tomorrow. When would you guys like to see a stream that Destiny can die? Well, I was feeling that last season, and then Joe Blackburn came on and did his spiel. He gave me a little bit of hope, but I've also been playing the game for 9 years, and at this point I just want to see the end. You know, it's not what I necessarily want it to be, but it is what it is, and yeah. So I'm too far in at this point. All right, let's check out this dude's dragon form. So green is indeed my favorite color, and that looks absolutely beautiful. He can still cast Comet in dragon form, which is nice. He does not have a breath ability. That is probably a mercy to his enemies. How did those crowmen do? They got an 82 kills and actually made the enemy flee. Very nice. And they were not even in harmony either. You know, I remember hearing about those issues. It was unfortunately more common than it should have been. But yeah, I don't blame you for not wanting to play the game. Oh, good old Comet. All right, let's throw him in combat. See what happens. Jade Lion, you're not the anti-caster. The jet one is the anti-caster. Let's get that one around. Let's up that melee attack. Okay, so yeah, that is the one I have selected. It seems. Yep, you can hear him. You can hear him banging away at the drum. Emperor's Executioner. I know that's probably supposed to be a kill ability, but we'll do it anyways. I'm just gonna see the damage. So I know the Jet Lion is on the Lord right now, but he currently had 4,000 HP. The execution already happened, so that took a big chunk out of his health, roughly 700 HP. That's pretty good. All right. We'll send the crows to some of these outlying units. Don't need them running away. Can't break level 120. Just gave me motes of light. Yeah. The Destiny engine and the way things work in Destiny has changed a lot since D1. I wouldn't say come into the game, even though they're making it super easy and friendly to join the game late. But if you haven't been involved or engaged with it since its conception or when you last played, I don't think it'd be worth your time. Especially if you're like a player versus player gamer. Yeah, I had the same issue in 2. Yeah. Especially if you're a PvPer, I don't think it's really worth your time. The single player content I feel is actually pretty great. The lore has its issues every now and then, but I kind of do both. I used to do a lot of PvP, and then I kind of got tired of the balancing issues. And I understand why there's balance issues, because they try to make all 3 classes unique, and they have their certain strengths, but I don't know. It was hard to find an active team that would always want to do PvP with me, and I kind of hated playing it by myself. So it is what it is. Yes, you don't agree with the whole getting rid of content that I paid for to make room for new content? Yeah, everyone is super upset with that aspect of the game, and I do not blame anyone for feeling that way. Especially with the whole Red War not being here. If I didn't pay for it, I would understand, because they said the reasoning was they don't want the game to be too big. But I also feel like they should let the players decide how much of the game fills up their PC. Like, they could totally do a thing where it's like, hey, you currently don't have this content downloaded. Would you like to install it now? And it's like, okay, yes, I now have the Red War installed, and I have access to its content. But I don't know what coding like that is. So I don't know. I'm not a programmer.
In the dragon's name!
I do have a hope for after Final Shape, that they'll just drop the entire game reprised, and you can play through the very beginning of the story, like play through Destiny 1 on PC and play through it all. And I hope they just release the entire game as a whole. I don't know if they will, because part of the thing that has kind of killed my hope for the game is that they have announced they are working on one of Bungie's classics called Marathon, which is fine, but I just feel like my favorite game is just being slowly let down to die slowly, you know? So.
Blessings of Jade!
I will say, if you did keep up with the game at all, I'm sure you heard that Cade died in the... Whoa. That's a cool attack.
Emperor's execution!
That's wild. Cade 6 did die in the Forsaken drop. I felt the way he died was a little dumb, but it made room for story, and I get it. Everyone has been begging to bring Cade back, and there have been theories about how we would do it. The way they are bringing Cade back is not something that I expected at all, and I'm actually okay with it. It's essentially like a Guardian Valhalla inside the Traveler, or so it seems. So Cade is not truly back per se, but he did not truthfully die all the way either. Ooh, yeah, D2 during year 1 was rough. Especially after Curse of Osiris, or excuse me, during Curse of Osiris and the Warmind, it was yeah, that was definitely a rough time for Destiny players. All right, well that was Cathay. Didn't need to bring a whole lot. Granted, Bretonnia didn't bring a whole lot either. His imprint is being kept alive, B6T. What? Oh. Kept alive by the Traveler. Yeah. He's kind of imbued with light in the cutscene we see him in, so. But also Ikora is there, and she has her ghost. But I mean, the final shape is all about us finding a way into the Traveler, so. Oh, that's cool. It actually changes their colors there. Slash, who is Nakari? That's the dude I was thinking of. Alright, well, I've been live for about an hour. V, if you're watching the stream, I will get with you about a reschedule time. I need to get with the wife and ask her when would be a good time, and we'll figure out from there. But overall, for the DLC, I do understand the player base's disappointment with the price. I don't think it's necessary of a review bomb, but again, that's me. I know people have very different financial scenarios, and they are free to speak their mind about a price. But my overall thoughts of the DLC, we have Cathay's Grand Executioner. I think he's pretty cool. Probably going to be one of the best dueling lords. Well, probably not the best, but he can definitely have an imprint on the battlefield. I haven't even looked at their campaign tree. You know, let's actually go do that. Let's go look at sure, just do things in Mortal Empires.
I am Prince and Emperor.
Before I call it a night. Zinch, the Changeling. Okay, so I was so confused because I saw different lords there. That's cool. Yeah, look at that. That's really cool. If I didn't work on a farm all day every day, I would be up to play with people. Yeah. So, the Changeling faction, immune to diplomatic penalties from trespassing. Establish the trickster cults instead of occupying territory. Can replenish and recruit in foreign territory. Armies are hidden in regions with trickster cult buildings. Can shapeshift in battle into other leader lords or heroes. Okay, okay. Before I start the campaign, let's look at the others. Danga Danga Durgan, where's Kislev? There it is.
Only I keep chaos at
Wait.
bay.
I lost access to my Boris Ursus. Alright, whatever.
My people must fear me
Mama Stinky.
so that I might better protect them.
Oh, that's cool. Okay. Alright, so faction effects. Wins and magic power reserve capacity +1 for each resource producing building. Nice. Global recruitment duration -1 for incarnate elemental beast units. So probably has a 3-turn recruitment period if I had to guess. Melee attack +8 when fighting against armies that spread corruption. Woo, all armies. Melee defense +10 for spider hatchlings and giant spider units, all armies. Okay, so two spiders. Yeah, wants to do the tutorial again. Targeting range for all spells +30%. Enemy wins a magic power reserve -5 per turn in the local region. Enables magical attacks large army. Miscast page chance -50% per embedded hag witch heroes. Cool, cool, cool. Lots of spiders in this army. And then we will go over to the Grand Cathay. If I can find them. Right there. I forget they're gray. I look for colors.
First door.
Administrator of the Celestial.
Administrative realm. Salvage an expedition in Lustria. Oh, he's in Lustria. That's neat. Yeah, he's super cool. All regions owned by factions that you have trade agreements with are visible. Okay, so it's essentially the diplomatic spies that High Elves have. Good relations with Grand Cathay. Research rate for each provincial capital. Hero capacity for Astromancers +2. Wins a magic preserve, and then upkeep for Ice Chrome and Jade Line and Jet Line units. Neat. What's the difference between Vampire Counts and Vampire Coast? One sings shanties with gunpowder, the other one dresses nicely and sits at tables. So Vampire Coast.
The Vampire Coast is all mine.
I am most experienced with Aranessa. It seems that they are less about conquering the world and more about just getting all the money and hunting big fish. Vampire Counts are about conquering the world and bringing about the undead again.
Thine right is mine.
Dark magic is mine to command.
Vampire Coast do have ranged with gunpowder, which is what makes them one of the best factions in the game. And but the Vampire Counts are also super strong just because they're typically really good melee casters. Also, Vlad von Karstein is a hell of a duelist.
Vlad von Karstein.
Most of my Carl friends playthroughs, I need to pounce him with Carl and like 3 other single entities just to bring him down because he's super scary. Yeah, we're gonna hop into a Changeling campaign. I'm not gonna worry about this, so we're just gonna be looking at the upgrade tree. From the icy sea claws in the north to the soaring black mountains in the south, the individuality of the Empire's provinces is much defined by its landscape. Its vast forests provide food and materials of production. I was kind of expecting that to be something to do with Zinch. It kind of does, concealing monsters and enemies of all sorts amongst its craggy passes and dark groves. But thus far proved equal to the challenge. Whoa, I have a cutscene?
As the winds of change begin to stir, faint echoes can be heard. Carried on the breeze comes mocking laughter.
Excuse me. Sorry.
With a flair for mayhem and an eye for trouble, the Changeling leaves a trail of chaos in his wake. Each prank to be savored.
Hey, Icket, you're on stream.
As he weaves his tapestry of despair, watching as the mighty fall by their own hand. The trickster's schemes.
It's like evil.
Spare no fate. Let the games begin.
So from what I got from that, the Changeling is just a big prankster that just happens to kill people with his pranks. He is the embodiment of prank gone wrong videos on YouTube.
Where to go and who to be.
I already like him. Okay, the Changeling thrives on sowing discord by enacting devious schemes across the world's theaters of war. Each theater's minor scheme sets the stage for its grand scheme, a chaotic culmination of mischief unraveled against the theater's main power. The Changeling must sufficiently stabilize the world via schemes in order to perform the most audacious prank of all, the ultimate scheme. Pranking, excuse me. This masterstroke will earn the deceivers their campaign victory. Learn more about the Tzeentch factions here. Okay. Capture the following settlement and establish a trickster cult in Needling. It's right there. And it gives me a trickster cultist and 75 grimoires. Where to go and who to be. So I do not start with a settlement. From what I understand, he doesn't actually have settlements, so he's similar to the one lizard man, the Wanderer. Starts with an N, I forget. Changeling starts with a decent army, has some Zangors in here, some blue horrors. Does start with a cockatrice. And flamers. Start with flamers? Let's go. Standard Tzeentch tech tree. Wait, right? Or is this different? Unit boons. Key to the west. Oh, Trickster Rift. Oh. Storm of Fire. Okay, okay. Northern Machination. Summons a Trickster Cultist and... Oh, so I'm all about being everywhere all the time. Sowing chaos. Okay. But from what I understand, I'm hidden, right? Oh, to acquire these forms, I have to beat them. Puny mortals have to walk. I teleport. Indeed. That'd be kind of cool if I clicked on the map and he teleported there instead of walking.
But it's much more fun when they do.
I love the voice actor, by the way. Sounds great. So grimoires, primary generated from buildings and fighting battles. Grimoires are used for changing the ways and actions and technologies. Yada yada yada. Cult supplies.
Only the master understands.
Yes, Changeling. Cult supplies primarily generated from infrastructure buildings and trickster cult by completing schemes. Cult supplies use construct trickster cult buildings. Blech. Okay, and this is what I spend my grimoires on. I can just spread Tzeentch corruption. I can reveal a shroud. I can track an army. Force rebellion. Halt an army. Open gates. Break alliance. Form peace. Transfer settlement. Force war. Changing of the ways. Right. You've hidden in territories that have a culture. Right. Thank you. Appreciate it. And these are my schemes. Oh. Ultimate scheme. Oh, I like how the eye follows me. View the ultimate scheme. Completing 5 grand schemes will affect the reinforcement that refined the ultimate scheme. So it is a massive battle with me, Pestilence, that faction of the Tomb Kings, World Walkers, the Drowned, Labor Rebels, versus essentially the Order Tide. Neat. I can win. I can do these battles all over the place. Oh, okay. This is content for the game. You'll be offered the Sword of Cain if you're not wounded and don't already control it. That's gotta have to happen, I think. Advancing with Nagaroth, Vampire Co-Size will support you in the ultimate scheme. The Captain's Horn. The Empire. If I win this, the Empire will be unable to reinforce your enemy's ultimate scheme battle. The Empire's Electric Council will descend into civil war. And get a ruined blade. Wow, okay. I haven't even looked at the thing I came here to look at, too.
I am everyone.
So these are all the forms he can take.
And no one.
That's awesome. Okay, yeah, this dude is super cool. Details, starts with an orb of Zinch. Yeah. Yes, quest. Okay, skills. This is what we're here for. Route Marcher, or Route Marcher, however you say that. Server Die, Arch Manipulator. Yep, standard Zinch stuff, spoilers, corruption. He does have Scrolls of Destiny, which gives him Grimoires per turn, up to 3, and Grimoires from buildings, 100% local province, called by change, upkeep. Legions of Madness, replenishment rate, renowned and feared. Master of Fates. Yeah, okay, so the standard. Yeah, let's look at his yellow tree stuff. So you can cause terror and reduce leadership in a local region. I'm you just better while transformed. Cool, cool. Skipping the boring part, more ammunition while transformed. Then Fool the Wind. Cool down and wins a magic cost. The Red Hot Jape. Access the assumed form's battle abilities when using the Formless Horror. And post-battle chance of stealing a magic item set to 100%, campaign movement range 20% after winning a battle. Turtle Hair and Boar, more armor transformed, charge bonus and speed. Armor of Lies, physically transformed. Or, excuse me, physical resistance while transformed in top of the class. Spell intensity 10%. Okay. And then 1000 faces. Cooldown to Formless Form, halved. Assume the... Access the assumed forces spells when using Formless Horror. Okay, so I could still turn into Ariel, but I wouldn't have her spells unless I had that. Okay, and Vanguard point for the entire army. Blue Fire, all of the Zinch spell casting. And then he has the Void Wrangler. I'm saving the last tree for the best tree for last. Speed for Forsaken, Chaos Spawn, and Mutalith Vortex Beast units, so that's what he builds, Forsaken and Chaos Spawn. Gives them Barrier. Go away, please. Perplexing Meddler. Minus 20 army, or 20 army, 20, 20 armor for enemy armies in local region, and speed. Minus 15% speed? Holy crap, this dude is super strong. Yeah, Adherence of the Trickster. Hero action cost reduced by 1/3 for cultists. Recruit rank +5. They start at level 6. That's pretty wild. Possibly Guardian for lords and embedded and heroes. Parasitosis. What do you mean I already had the supply sent to the front? Minus 20% upkeep when an enemy or raised territory, plus upkeep for enemies in local province. Oh, I could mess with that. Yeah. Why am I constantly in the negative? I don't know. Alright, Symbiosis request army costs 50% reduced. Army leadership points gain 50%. Upkeep. Wait, can I essentially have 3 armies? I mean, I guess I kind of need that if I don't have settlements. I come in peace. No, really. Further time reduction 25% for units recruited via allied recruitment, excluding Zinch units, all armies. Allied recruitment cost minus 50% faction wide. Melee attack plus 10% for units recruited via the allied recruitment, and melee defense. Okay, so first come, first serve. Campaign movement range control. Alright, and now you see me, reinforcement range, and stock. So it looks like he has bonuses for allied recruitment, but can he still only have 4 units?
It was I who left Slanesh's precious silver apples of knowledge to rot in Nurgle's garden.
Oh, okay, that's cool lore. I want to know if he's still limited to the 4 units for his allied recruitment, because like, sure, that sounds great, but I don't know if I want to waste a level up point for 4 units, you know. Granted, and that is all armies, so 4 per army. I'd rather just have an army of entirely recruited allies. I guess I'll do Kislev next. We'll go in order of the splash art here.
In the name of Magnus.
My people must.
Hey, look, it's the splash art I used for the thumbnail. I actually, speaking of the splash art, I learned a good bit about Photoshop today making it. I had a lot of fun doing that. I can't claim that I was the original idea for putting my face over the Changeling. Okay, same cutscene. Oh, wait, no, this is a different cutscene, right.
Every winter, as the nights draw close and mists begin to thicken,
Ooh.
the people of Kislev tell their children a tale always told in a whisper. From the dark heart of the woods, the Hag Mother watches. For those who bring destruction to the forests of the motherland, do so unto themselves. For every injustice comes retribution.
Ugh.
Mother Ostakya knows no mercy. From the smoke, she will rise to claim her price in blood. So heed the warning of the wise, or be lost to the mists of the wood.
So she's... I was about to say Santa Claus, because she's like a story they tell
The
children to
wise
keep them...
respect the land and avoid bringing my hexes to their door.
Ugh. I feel like she's just like the Kislev Santa Claus. She doesn't bring you gifts, but you're told to be good, so you don't, it's a reason for kids to be good. Otherwise, Mama Stinky will come hex you or something, right? Mother Ostakya must obtain 6 forbidden hexes to unleash upon the world, each guarded by those intent on keeping these powers away from her. So is she kind of like a villain for good? She used forbidden magic to do good for the world. She will learn the purification hex if I defeat an army belonging to the Bleakholds. Bleakholds? Oh! I'm way over here. My favorite faction is right here.
My visions predict failure.
Hag Witch of Beasts. What is your perk, good sir? You have Cunning. Very nice.
Mother
Start with
Ostakya.
2 ambushers. You start with an incarnate elemental of beasts. You just start with one. Okay.
The great gods in the north sending the lost against us.
Still have access to the
Live
Ice Court,
for that fight.
which tells me that she is a part of the Kislevian... Is it Kislevian or Kislevi? Or probably just Kislev. She is still a part of the Kislev court, politically, which is interesting. Slightly different Kislev research tree. Seems like everything here is normal, minus Tales from the Woods, which she actually uses her faction currency to get. Everything else is normal. I already clicked that. And the Ice Court. Alright. Spirit Essence is primarily gained from fighting battles and maintaining low levels of corruption. Is used to perform hexes and create incantations in the witch's hut. And these are the different chants. Jinxed Land teleports target army to a magical forest. So I'm curious, how do the Wood Elves feel about me? Have I met them? They do not like me. Sadness. What do they say if I talk to them?
If only we'd hunted you down long ago.
Your bloodthirst was warranted for once, sister.
No, girls. We can play nice. Okay.
Witch.
And the other thing, the primary thing I'm here to look at, does not start with an item. Vassalize them. I mean, if that's what it takes for them to play nice. And then she gets these 2 items later on. Mastery of Elemental Winds for embedded Hag Witch heroes. Explosive missile damage plus 20%. Let's go. Okay, skill tree. Looking a little bare in comparison to the Changeling. She's got Route Marcher, Iron Disciplinarian, Quartermaster, Alert, Renowned and Feared, Stand Your Ground. Okay. Like we saw in my original review, she's got a mix of Shadows and Beast Magic. Arcane Conduit. Embodiment of the Forest. Ammunition during forest battle, surge resistance, and Woodsman for the Lord's Army, Forest Purity. You know, I would think the Wood Elves would like her. Kind of surprised they don't. Wildlings. Charge bonus for things in the woods, incarnate elemental beasts, and forest animal units. Okay. But it's probably the same mentality they have towards Dryka, right? Yeah, then they love you. They have to. Bazorka's Wrath. Malediction upon malediction. The curse weighs heavily on those who dare trespass. Action duration for spells that debuff the enemy. Doubles the time. And gives me Spirit Bear. Right off the bat. Nice. Coven's Will. Spirit Essence cost for hexes minus 20%. I feel like that's super strong. Like, that's her primary campaign mechanic, and I just reduced the cost for it at level 13. I mean, I got to get to level 13. Okay, so there's a little bit. Mothers rally. The citizenry of rural Kislev have a begrudging yet thankful relationship with the hags, wherein proper respect begets a startling lack of misfortune. Control gives me a hag witch in all provinces and capacity, so I essentially get a guaranteed hag witch at that point. Forest's Lure ambush chance increase, which is excellent that my hero here actually got cunning as his recruitment perk. And melee attack characters army when in own territories. Very defensive. Inspiring chant, we saw that. And folklore. Attacks cause the curse of air here effect, reducing combat potential. And upgrade Spirit Bearer with a deadly lingering damage effect. Attribute causes fear when fighting against humans. Okay, so she definitely has her, and she has access to folklore at level 13, 14, 15. So she has some stuff about her. I feel like she's definitely more of a battle lord than a campaign map lord like the Changeling is. Giant spiders, standard Kislevian buildings. I heard they were adding a lot more landmarks here. Spirit Essence cost minus 20% pack. Okay. Am I overthinking what hexes are? Yes. Okay, so these are normal hexes. They're not the Great Hex or the Forbidden Ones or whatever they're called. Where is that, by the way? Are they a building, you think? Gives me 2 things in the woods. 200 income.
The Patriarch will not burn us. Not while we are useful.
Engage the enemy. I have to obtain them. And then that's when I can do the Malediction of Ruin. Okay. So they're not just something I can look at. I have to actually go and obtain them. Cool. All right, and then now we will go look at Yuan Bo, who, from what I understand, is in Lestria. New,
In the
Immortal
name of
Empires.
Magnus.
Cathay, Yuan Bo.
Administrator.
Hagen. Hey Coda, what's going on, man? I'm probably about to hop back in chat for a little bit because stream is being rescheduled due to technical issues. I am getting a little bit of a headache, unfortunately, so I might just go take some Tylenol and grab something to eat before I hop in. But it's nothing too major. I have been sitting at my computer all day, so that's probably why. Cutscene number 3.
An ancient power stirs in the land of dragons. A force of jade and steel. Deep in the heart of the central provinces.
But they look so beautiful.
Wei Jin, the jewel in the crown of the Celestial Empire. Home to the great Wu Xing compass. Watched over by its vigilant guardian, the Jade Dragon, master of the meteor winds. The architect of Grand Cathay's destiny. Yet as light turns to darkness, he schemes. Commanding a vast network of unrelenting spies. No lies go undetected. No whispers go unheard. The dragon's eyes are everywhere.
Material things have value. Information does not have a price. Right?
I must range out beyond our borders. Cathay's security demands it.
So I must therefore go to the other ends of the world, right? So it is his duty to increase the Celestial Emperor's influence in the world by fully harnessing the power of the Wu Xing compass. He must activate 4 dormant directions unique to the Jade Court that point toward distant sites of great power. Constructing an astromantic relay at each site will empower the compass to greatly strengthen Cathay's dominion and bring Yuan Bo closer to campaign victory. As astromantic relays are constructed, Jade Dragon must stay prepared for hostilities from those who seek to stop the redirection of the winds of magic. Successfully activating the 4 dormant directions will lead to the final incursion. Defeat Blue Vipers and I get $1,000. Okay.
Alchemist of Shangyang.
Alchemist of Shangyang. Alright, we got a Shunma, Fervent Questioner. Less corruption income for buildings over region. Nice. Okay. So, same design as Cathay Tech, and as it's linear. Different names of things. Season tractors, campaign movement range right off the bat. Attain aggression, cool. So same scheme, different names, different style, but all goes very linear. We do have the Ivory Road, so I can still do caravans from Cathay. Yes, I know how caravans work. It looks like they start. I actually forget. I know how they work, but I forget where they start. Oh, I am split. Neat. Remind me where caravans start. Sure. Dispatch. Caravans start in Shangyang. Okay. Cool. Right next to the Great Mall. Because, why not? Neat. So, yeah, I start... I am split. That's cool. I like that. I mean, great. It looks like I just came from over here, so I'm really not that far.
I should be the Celestial.
Illusion compass. So this looks still the same. Okay. Yes. Compass. And then the Matters of State. Okay, I'm not familiar with this. The Jade Court has the power to enact defensive acts of governance through Matters of State, which can be used to influence a variety of targets on the campaign map. Right. Matters of State actions are performed by using the energies of steel and stone, which are never lost, only transferred between one another in the form of tokens. When a steel or a stone token is used for an action, it transfers to the other resource in an unusable pending state, which lasts a number of turns. Winning battles reduces the number of turns tokens stay in a pending state. Matters of State actions cost varying numbers of usable tokens of both or either steel and or stone. Additional tokens can be obtained by establishing fortress cities and commercial districts using the associated actions. We'll look through those here in a second. Hovering over any available Matters of State action reveals further details such as the type of target required and the action's effects. And left-clicking an action then requires a target to be selected, if any, for confirmation. And then your final confirmation is the Perform button. Cool. You can levy the provinces. Target army belonging to you or an ally instantly completes one turn of ongoing recruitment. Nice. Your next hero action is guaranteed to succeed. That's super strong. Crackdown. Province's control and corruption reduced to 0, and rush construction pretty self-explanatory. Movement range is restored. That's pretty cool. School trees. Income sent to Yuan Bo. 2,500 per turn. Siphoned. Nice. Mask of Jade. Faction diplomatic reliability is reset to very high and cannot be reduced this turn. Oh man. Oh, that's wild. Okay. I won't look through all these because this is a lot. Is declared a fortress city. Neat. Okay. I'll go through those at another time. I need to turn my audio off on my other monitor here because I got Discord notifications. Okay. Let's go back to Yuan Bo, the Jade Dragon. Where are we within Lustria? So southwest of Ulthuan, I mean, it's Lustria, but near the peak. Up here next to the this region of Lustria. Currently at war with the Blue Viper Greenskins. Savage Orcs. Okay. These are the buildings. Okay, so I have to go to these locations. The Nongchang Basin gives that. The Dragon River. Characters are immortal. Broken Lands. Wait, so it's all down here? I mean, that makes things easier. Also looks like I'm gonna have to go to World Techless. Wait, no, Techless is down here now. Never mind. So they're all in Lustria, except this one, which I guess is no, that's not Lustria. This is Lustria. I was kind of expecting to be I'd have to go to the four corners of the world and capture these cities, which is why I was like, cool, because I have a separation here. Like maybe one is in Kislev. That's fine. I can't complain. Drop the orbital, excuse me. Start with 2 steel and 2 stone. Nice early income. I do have 2 settlements, that's probably why.
The Celestial commands.
Oh, starting army. Nothing too special. It does have some great longbow riders.
I gained power.
Which is nice. 2 quest items, Armor of Dragon's Gaze. Just that one. And then Dragon's Fang, which is that really cool ability we saw, and nice control benefits. Probably that makes it really nice for like legendary difficulty campaigns. Alright. Route Marcher, Iron Disciplinary. And then the Great Bastion. Stand your ground. Rally. He has Heaven's Light and Yang magic. So pretty wide variety of spells there. We know what Executioner is. We'll start up here first. Spell resistance, range discipline, missile resistance. Okay, armies of Celestial Court. Down spells for the Wujing Compass, Lustrous Infantry, and all that. Inventory, of course. So Celestial Administration, Lord Recruit rank +5 for Dragon-Blooded Shugengans, excuse me, +5. Pure Recruit rank +5 for Astromancers and cooldown reduction 20% to all spells. Nice. Bureaucrat's the highest order. Control, construction cost for faction-wide and construction time local region. Mask of Jade, diplomatic relations with humans and high elves, +25. Nice, nice, nice. Heart of Order upkeep when in own territory. Neat. Campaign, so he is defensive for the most part, despite him having to go out and conquer, which is interesting. Yeah, you know, I would think that that would be actually upkeep when out of own territory, just because, you know, you are separate from home. But, you know, whatever, it probably has its benefits. Celestial Court Overseer. Pure Action Sex Chance. And Astromancer's Power Resistance for Lord's Army. Cool. Actually, that's really nice. Spell Resistance 30%. Then Spell Intensity plus 50%. So still not nearly as good as whoever had the... Or no, the other one was not 100%. Was it 10%? I don't remember who else had the Spell Intensity. Probably the Changeling. Alright, Judge, targeting range 60% for the Emperor's Executioner, which I'm guessing he has right out the bat, right? Yes, he does. Okay. So increases the range 50% and gives it another usage. Jury, cooldown, another use, and then Executioner raises the hit point threshold by 33%, and then one more use. So you're telling me that you can just use it on the same target X amount of times. It does have a 2-minute cooldown, but this lowers its cooldown by a third, which brings it down to what's 120? What's a third of 120? Is it 40? 40, 80, 120? Right? Yeah, so it reduces it by 40 seconds. That's pretty nuts. And decent spells all around. Looks amazing, by the way. Love the purple pink feathers with the jade scale armor. Alright.
Bureaucrat, sorcerer, general, executioner. My time for poetry and calligraphy shrinks by the day.
So,
my siblings have armies, yes, but I pull the strings of the Celestial Empire.
don't worry, Yombo. You'll have an armies one day. Has a bit of an ego, it seems, but he's humble at the same time, because he's like, I can't do calligraphy and poetry because of all my responsibilities. Whatever. Alright, guys. Probably going to call it there. I'm going to go grab something to eat and catch up in my Destiny chat here for tomorrow's day one. I will see you all when V and I actually manage to stream. I'll try and put out a message somehow. I know we don't really have a messaging for you guys, so just keep an eye out for the YouTube bell. I'll try and have the notification put out at least a day before. I'm usually pretty bad about doing that. I'll often set up my stream like the day of, and I know that's not helpful for pulling people in, but it is what it is. Otherwise, I'll catch you all later. Oh hey Gani, hey hon. I'm just now calling it here, and I'll be joining you guys soon. So yeah, hope everyone has a good night. Everyone that came out, Michael, Coda, Nathan, Icket, and Yosef V. Thank you guys for coming in to say hi and looking at the new content with me. Oh yeah, he was watching. Yeah, that's right. I'll see you all later. Have a good night, everybody.